Hello everyone and welcome back to Campus Legends. We're moving on now to the finals, the second series of the day in fact, where we see, I believe, the KEKW, right? That's the
KEKW,
team
yeah.
that we didn't watch.
Mhm.
And then we see the Power of Friendship as well, which is the team that we did watch. And we're going to be watching them going up against each other to see who can represent TP in the group stages.
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe the expectation for this game, right, is that it's gonna be KEKW taking the win.
Mhm.
Number one, because they beat Polite players very, very quickly. I think
Okay.
they were done before our match was done.
Mhm.
So, and I had a brief glance over at the observers table. I believe KEKW, they are the ones with the Grandmaster. They have there's
Ooh,
basically
wow.
a significant rank disparity. But as we've seen in the previous day, rank doesn't really. Wait, no, actually that proved the point. But now, but rank doesn't really decide the
Mhm.
game entirely.
Yeah,
It will
that's
come
true.
down to execution as well. Yeah, especially today, I think
Yeah.
because yesterday was micro focus, we can look at ranks a little more. But because of today, it's going to be much more macro focus, at least from what we've seen in our semifinals. Rank will really take a backseat to
Mhm.
how these teams communicate, how well they're synergized, and how they can really pull off the compositions that
Yep.
they want to play.
That's right, and not only that, but because these are the second games of the day, I feel that these teams are going to be more warmed up and more ready because now they've each gone through a series, they've each 2-0'd it, right?
Right?
So they're definitely in their game ready. They're ready to take the win, to take their plans, to execute their plans, and I mean, hopefully it's not an East Coast plan at the very least.
They're already out of the tournament. Let's just stop
Okay,
using the word
all right,
plan.
we'll stop. We'll stop.
Jesus.
All right, we'll stop using the word plan. All right.
All right, but I believe we are in draft. Well,
Mhm.
at least that's what the teleprompter is saying.
Yeah,
There
that's
it
right.
is.
There we go. We are in that draft right now. Bands looking fairly standard currently, and Volibear being first picked by Power of Friendship.
Mm-hmm. It is going to be a Volibear first pick. Definitely, we saw that he had a very, very huge impact
Mhm.
in the previous game. Has been a great facilitator for the side of Power of Friendship,
Yep.
going for those bot lane dives and really allowing them to win so many dragon fights. Meanwhile, that's Janna.
Yeah, that's Janna. That's something that we don't see very much, or at least we haven't seen for a very long time. Not since the Ardent Sensor meta.
If you say it 3 times fast, it'll come back.
Ardent Sensor meta. Okay, no, I don't want it to come back. I don't want it to come back. Anything but that.
Okay, but this is a very safe lane now.
Yeah,
You
that's
see
true.
the Ezreal, again, a
Mhm.
passive AD carry, joined alongside the Janna, which, for all intents and purposes, is just going to sit behind the Ezreal, which is not something
Yep.
that you expect the support to do because, again, Ezreal is very passive. Janna's going to sit back there, she's going to press W, she's going to get a fair chunk of damage down on the enemy
Mhm.
laner, and that's basically the extent of what the Janna does.
Yep, that's right. And another Garena game, another Vayne pick right now, going once again over to the side of Power Friendship. Tartarsaurus had a decent showing on in the previous round, and he's probably gonna do pretty well again during this round.
Absolutely. We are just seeing a repeat of the draft coming through Power Friendship. So
Yep.
we already know the merits of this draft and how they're able to play it well because, again, they executed it super well in
Mhm.
the previous game, taking down the East Coast plan. Meanwhile, that's the Lissandra taken away from Ocean Gaming. So no Lissandra this time. I believe he's actually just going to default to the Galio.
Yep.
So Lissandra, definitely a good champion in and of itself, but you're not going to have many champions to lock down on the other side.
Yeah.
You don't yet have the Akali, you don't have the Echo right now. And given that you've already shown the Lissandra, it's going to be very difficult for Power of Friendship to actually opt in for those sorts of assassin
Yes.
champions. You also have the Galio to contend with, again, is a champion that does well into AP, which
Mhm.
Lissandra certainly is. Lissandra doesn't really have that much of a high damage profile in the early game, definitely can be well absorbed by the Galio. So right now it's looking pretty much in the favor of Power of Friendship.
Yep, that's right. Looking pretty good for Power Friendship right now. We are inclined to believe that the Galio is going mid because Ocean Gaming has taken that to the mid lane before. And interestingly enough, KEKW actually banned out the set, which means that the support from Power of Friendship, goodness, is forced to go on something else. So what do you think would be a good support right now for the Vayne?
For the Vayne, obviously, I'm not sure if they would have actually gone for the Lulu. I think what we saw from the Power of Friendship was the set, right?
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
currently
It's banned.
so you would expect a bit of a... they're going to go for the composition that worked for them
Mhm.
before, right? So you're looking for high, meaty damage champions in the bot lane that can also engage. I'm looking towards perhaps a Thresh with the Vayne
Yep.
might actually work very well. The
Oh.
big boy Garen now secured by Power of Friendship themselves to go into the Jax in the top side.
See, if you can't beat the lane itself, then why don't you just become a Garen main yourself?
That's 5 hit.
Just
That is
tick
5 hit.
Ignite, Berserker Greaves first, Triforce second, Essence Reaver third. What could go wrong? The worst that could happen is, losing the game. No big deal.
No big deal, right? We're gonna see the Senna locked in here, so it's gonna be a Senna Vayne lane. It's gonna be pretty safe.
Yeah.
They're just gonna farm up a little bit. Both of these champions do exceptionally well in the late game. Obviously, Vayne has her scaling. Senna does as well with her stacks. So we should be seeing a little bit of poke just come through from Senna, but other than that, it's just gonna be a lot of farming from the side of Vayne.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
A lot of farming definitely for both of them. In fact, Ezreal, Janna also very safe lane. So really not much we're gonna see at the bot lane at all. Can just take a nice little nap and check back in with them. Maybe
Okay.
10 minutes later when the first dragon fight happens. That's probably when the first action would happen on bot lane, of course, unless there's a huge emphasis placed on it for some reason. And it actually looks like it's gonna be a Jax in the jungle.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the thing about this is, right, they sort of got baited because, Garen actually does relatively well into Jax if you're able to, bait out the dodges from his E. So Garen into Vladimir is a much harder matchup for Garen to excel in. Definitely can still do it. Garen is still a pretty much brain dead champion.
Yep.
But Vladimir definitely is a champion that has much more agency going into this matchup and definitely can take over the late game as well as a Jax could possibly do in the same situation. Now, Jax in the jungle though does bring that the dodges and the CC that he brings to the other lanes as well. So definitely could look for an impact around the mid lane, because again, the bot lane is not something we're going to be looking towards to really do anything until at least about the 18-minute mark is when both these bot lanes really pop off, I think.
Yeah, but one thing I do not approve of is just how much magic damage exists right now on the side of KEKW.
Right.
Going up against Galio once again, he has the magic damage shield. He can give his entire team a magic damage shield. So going, I would say this is like about 2.5. About maybe half of your damage is magic, right? You've got Vladimir, you've got Lissandra, and you've got Jax, who isn't exactly magic damage based, but does do a fair amount with his empowered auto attacks and the Grandmaster's Might passive. So late game, I mean, I think Power of Friendship just have that little bit of added tankiness along with the Senna, of course, to kind of keep themselves alive through the team fights.
Yeah, for sure I can agree with that. I think, meanwhile, in the side of Power of Friendship, I think their draft is much more well-rounded. They can definitely go a little bit more ham, especially with the Vayne and the Volibear being high-profile damage carries once you hit that mid and late game. I want to see how the Senna builds, so because you can either go the very supportive Senna, you can build for shielding, even though that's not really what I want. Personally, I prefer the more offensive Senna build where you can be the secondary carry in the bot lane and really, if the Vayne falters, you can come in and try to take over something. Yeah, I think Senna definitely should be in that more aggressive role over something more supportive. I don't really like to see that sort of build.
Yeah, I mean, I think Senna is probably just going to go for the Grasp of the Undying build that we've been seeing.
I see
recently.
you've built some. You've written something on
Yes,
your pad.
I wrote something on my pad. Again, unfortunately, you guys cannot see it, but it says...
Just bring it close to the camera.
Senna Grasp... Oh, you can. Senna Grasp OP.
PogChamp.
Yeah, that's right. See, the thing about Senna, Grasp of the Undying Senna is it just makes you irritating. You basically have Glacial Augment because you bought Frozen Mallet, right?
Right.
But you have Grasp of the Undying as well.
Right.
So you just stack health, and when there's no % health damage on the opposing side right now, and well, with Ezreal, I mean, sure, Ezreal has Blade of the Ruined King, and maybe Jax would have one, but that's about it, right?
Yeah.
You just become this irritating, kind of front line, but not front line thing. I don't exactly know what it is. It's a Senna thing in the bot lane, right?
Yeah.
You're just overall irritating, and especially when you have Ezreal, right, who wants to land those mystic shots on the critical target Vayne. You're just going to be there to block it. If, of course, the mystic shot even gets through Galio and Volibear. It's just one more hurdle in the way for KEKW to get onto the Vayne on Power Friendship. And in fact, also with that Frozen Mallet, you can kind of help her peel. You can slow the enemy Jax, especially mainly the Jax, and of course the rest of the enemies as well. As the added range, of course.
Right.
You can kind of hit the Ezreal as well. Just overall, super irritating pick. I hate fighting this Senna thing. I personally can't play this Grasp of the Undying Senna. It's never worked out for me. But every time I faced it, it's just been so annoying.
It sounds like Senna is tilting you a lot.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you see
Sounds
the
like
champion, you instantly just go mental boom.
Mental boom. That's right.
All right. Well, meanwhile, I think if you look at both compositions, you did bring up the point that KEKW did have a little bit of a deficit in terms of damage profile.
Yeah, physical.
Yeah, physical damage profile. But I think when you have the Jax and you have the Ezreal, you really look towards these champions to pick up that slack, especially in the mid game when the Jax and the Ezreal both begin to come online. I think they're able to just tide it over the early game. Obviously, you're going to struggle a little bit against the Galio in the early game, but once you get past that point, I think you're going to be pretty much okay, especially if this Jax gets a few early kills from ganks. I think you're pretty much set for the entire game. Meanwhile, on the other side, I think you have a bit more of a non-well-rounded composition. Again, you're relying a lot on your AD carry, right? You have a lot of tanky frontliners. You have the Senna, you have the Vayne, you have the Volibear. These are your three main damage dealers, unless the Garen pops off again. There's definitely a possibility. But if that doesn't happen, it will just come down to relying on Vayne once again. And I think this is still an improvement over the first game we've seen in our Power of Friendship, right? We saw the Lucian come through. That's not something that will already take over the game, especially since he didn't get any early kills. But this Vayne, if you do afford her enough time and enough CS, she can definitely be this late game threat that will just propel them towards the finish line. Well, later rather than sooner.
Yeah, I mean,
does that make sense?
Later rather than sooner. Fair enough. I mean, in the previous game, we did see the Vayne go like about. I believe she only died at the end.
Yeah.
So it was about 6:04 when she got her Guinsoo's end of the Rune King, and that was like about 20 minutes. So they kind of were able to accelerate her power spike, and because of that, she was just able to take over. I wouldn't even call them late game team fights, right? They were kind of like mid game ish.
Mid to late game.
Yeah, mid to late game around there. But she was already online with the items, and we just saw the power of that Vayne, the ability to final hour, and of course tumble around and kite your opponents. But again, you're on Garena server, so automatically Vayne has a buff, Riven has a buff, Zed has a buff. Typical Garena champions. Katarina has a buff. I believe there was some Katarina.
There was a Katarina yesterday. Was
I was watching that at home.
Amazing. My voice is absolutely shot from the play-by-play yesterday. I'm sure Twitch chat approved of that a whole lot, but I'm sure everyone is glad that you are back in the driver's seat for today. Let's get into game shortly, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Anytime now, we're getting into game. There we go. You are a prophet. We are on Summer's Rift, ladies and gentlemen. This is the finals of the qualifier for TP. Things are looking pretty close right now. Power of Friendship going up against KEKW. It is anyone's game, and the winner will represent TP in the group stages. So the stakes are high, and we're ready to go.
If they win 2 in a row, this one is just game 1. That's
true.
Take it easy. There's still a bit of space for experimentation. That might be why the Garen, why the Senna are coming through. Well, we're going to see 5-man stacks meet each other in the bot side river.
Yep, spicy stuff so far. Mystic shots coming out, not exactly hitting. Sandra was able to land some poke damage, but Galio flashing in, lands a double taunt, and here begins the fight. The Jax counter-strike landing, but there's so much damage going down. Ocean Gaming is going to be the first one to fall. Sandra picking up that first blood. Heart EC is dropping pretty low as well. Might just fall, but actually stays alive. Serenal going to fall down as well. Look at that Senna. That Senna is providing some healing, trying her very best. The teleports are coming back. In fact, this is an absolute fiesta. What is going on right now? I'm not too sure. Tarasaur's getting slowed up. The Vayne, is she going to be able to dodge away? Lisandro's going to land some auto attacks, and Janna flashing in with that tornado, but Galio once again taunting. But why taunt? This is highly unfortunate right now. Being 0-1 at 1 minute 16. That is just... You know what? Okay.
You know, we praised them for their macro, we didn't praise them for the micro, and now we know why. Honestly, that was just a huge misplay coming from Ocean Gaming. You did not have to engage there, and keep in mind, when you jump in like that, when you just tap the W button for the taunt, you're only taunting them for a fraction of a second. That is not going to make a difference, especially in a fight where you're around 5 people, and the fact that POF, they engage like that and they follow up. They just give away so many kills. Sure, you save the AD carry, but now your mid laner is 0-2-1 and the enemy Lissandra is 2-0-3.
Yeah, that's right. And if you look at the summoner spells as well, Lissandra still has summoner spells, and this Galio only has taunt. Only taunt. Nothing more. Okay, so the question is, when is he going to become 0-3-1?
Or when? I'll give him 5 minutes at max.
Alright, well, Volibear coming in, actually a flash being used there by the Ezreal. Limit testing is going to go down. They're going to find some respite for now.
Yeah, this is what you want, right? You want to get your Vayne ahead because that is, again, your main carry going into this game. And the fact that you're able to get an early kill onto this bot lane will just begin to accelerate the gold advantage that you could possibly get on the Vayne. You are also shutting down the Ezreal for just a little bit because, you know, he's only got 1 CS. Sure, he's 1-0-4. There's going to be a significant chunk of gold on him, don't get me wrong. But the more you delay this Ezreal into his mid-game power spike, the better for your Vayne. And better for your team, again, because she is that main carry.
Yeah, that's right. But things looking absolutely disastrous right now for Ocean Gaming in that mid lane. Just barely keeping himself alive under this constant poke from the Lissandra. Already forced to recall and has no teleport, in fact, to come back. Hard EC gonna walk into the enemy jungle. Gonna be able to just steal away this
Volibear's
blue.
coming.
Yeah, Volibear's coming over. Does have that
Blast
blast
code.
code. But take note, Jax has the level advantage, comes over, and the question is who's surprised by who right now. That keep your eyes on that blue buff. Volibear just gonna try to go for it. Smites a little early, in fact. It doesn't get it. Now Hard EC. He's just gonna claim that easy solo kill, and now the score line is 2-6.
Yep, you're not allowed to do that even in your own jungle, my friend Volibear. You cannot do that. You are behind, and you know that was basically an int, right? You should expect that when you're this behind, that the enemy Jax is going to be a little aggressive, and going into your blue buff blind, taking the blast cone and sort of stunning yourself up for a couple seconds. That is not the way you want to do it. Now, meanwhile, in this mid lane, it's just not. You don't want to play this, right? As Galleon, you're just feeling super bad. The enemy mid laner is so far ahead on you, and you just simply cannot come and farm. If you were going into this in a even map state, you would be fine. It's still a melee versus range, so you're obviously going to be a deficit. But right now, even you're even getting bullied by the enemy support who's roaming up to come and whack you in the face with a tornado.
Yeah, that's right. The tornado gonna come out. Wow, it's just so much damage being landed right now. But here's another problem for POF. Look at the deficit between their jungler and KEKW's jungler. In fact, the Jax just took away the entire top side. He's going to take away this Scuttle Crab as well. I don't think Volibear can get it. In fact, that miss might really just has dealt so much doom. And there we go. Hard EC going to pick up that one. Gonna just not decide to smack the Volibear in the face with his lamppost. But oh, look at this. A dive coming out.
Oh, man.
Oh, and there we go. I'm Human picking up that solo kill now on a killing spree. And there we go. 0-3-1.
Yeah, game 5 minutes. He managed to live up to expectations there. And honestly, it's not really his fault at this point. Sure, the first time he went in was a funky play. That's not the best thing you could possibly do, but right now you're just this far behind. You're trying to get a little bit of CS. You're 30 CS down anyway. Another kill is not going to make much of a difference. Whoa.
Yeah, that is
more than twice his goal. This is so sad.
That is really just feels bad there. 3-0-3 compared to 0-3-1. Honestly, yeah. Volibear also forced to come in here and text his laner, who's already basically so far behind. Really unfortunate stuff. POF gonna need to find some way to recover off from this, but the first dragon is an Infernal Dragon, and that means that KEKW are probably just gonna be able to secure that one pretty easily.
Yeah, there's no reason why KEKW should not be able to translate this early game advantage into a greater snowball by taking objectives across the map. I will expect them to at least be able to secure the first dragon as well as the first herald, unless there is some sort of game-changing fight, which honestly I don't think is gonna happen, because just take a look at the item disparity, especially in the mid lane. You already have the Lissandra going back and picking up the beginning items of her build, and it's just gonna be so difficult for POF to find a favorable fight, even if they do get some sort of positioning advantage. She's just gonna go in again.
Yeah, he's just got the ability to go in right now because Lissandra is just so far ahead. It has the ability to buy a lost chapter, in fact, to just help to sustain that mana through. That's how far ahead you are. When you're going Portal Belt first and you are able to buy a lost chapter, and your opponent, Ocean Gaming, my friend, please don't go for Rod of Ages. It's too expensive. It's gonna take forever to scale.
Yeah, for sure. This is just a bit of a tunneling from the previous few games when he was a hit, saying, hey, Rod of Ages was a good idea, maybe it'll be a good idea here, but the fact that you're behind, you really shouldn't be itemizing this way. You should be going for some defensive stats. But here comes the Jax into the bot lane for a gank. Will stun up the center.
Yep, that's right. Look at that. So much damage coming out onto the bot lane for POF. But the teleports are coming in, and here comes our spinning boy. But Hard EC gonna jump straight back in once again. Hayasaka just gets absolutely destroyed right there with that empowered auto attack. Now Hard EC is going to be able to walk out alive. Use this counter strike, actually walking back in. Now it's going to be a huge brawl, but look at this. I'm Human is off to the side, and he is alone. Uses that Lissandra ultimate, but not on himself. Lands a fair amount of damage, but it's not going to be enough. Shutdown over there. Critical shutdown. Going to bring that Volibear back. Just a little bit of gold.
Yeah, that actually was huge for POF, right? Because you shut down the Lissandra. Crucially, you put her slightly behind, and you get yourself huge priority over the Infernal Drake. Now, this should never happen with the state that KEKW found themselves in the previous few minutes, but right now, it looks like the Infernal Drake is gonna go squarely into the hands of POF, but no, Jax is gonna come here and contest, and he has the smite.
Yeah, that's right. And he's level 6 as well. Look at how low the Garen is being taken. And he actually just smites him down and takes him down. That's two. Going to be two? No, that's just one. But Hardy C, he's able to take back that dragon. And now the question is, are POF going to be able to find any consolation prize?
At least get the Janna.
Oh,
no. Yep, the flash out from the Janna will get her
so.
to safety. So it is going to be, I believe, 2 kills in the back of that fight, as well as giving up the dragon to KEKW. Now, it was just super unfortunate. Meanwhile, in the top side, Vladimir has just been able to push continuously, picked up quite a significant CS lead as well as a few tower plating. So that's going to be a significant chunk of unspent gold now on the Vladimir. And when he goes back, I'm going to expect a huge buy to come through, and it's just going to make it so much more difficult for this Garen to deal with him. Keep in mind, Garen just came back to lane and he's only got a Phage.
Yeah, that's right. He's not playing the same Chad Garen, by the way. He got Grasp of the Undying. He got Teleport. He don't have that Berserker Greaves that we had in the previous game. So, yeah, he's not going to be doing just as much as the previous Garen. Meanwhile, Vladimir, with that huge CS lead, has the assist
already
as
his first item. My god.
Yeah, Proto Belt already being completed. And, yeah, things looking pretty disastrous right now. In fact...
What are you doing, Volibear?
Yeah, he's trying to counter jungle right now. This is not working out at all. Look at this limit testing. The support is a higher level than the jungler right now.
So this is something that you absolutely cannot do. Number one, you are super behind. That is the obvious thing. But you also don't have priority in the bot side. Your bot lane just back. They went for the reset. Your mid lane, as usual, is being pushed away. You cannot go for an invade because you will have zero backup if you get caught out like that. And he just gets run out by a Janna of all things.
Yeah, exactly. Getting chased away there by limit testing. Really testing the limits of the champion, and clearly the champion is going to be able to chase the bear out of the river.
No. This is not limit testing. At this point, you build full AP on the Janna, you max W, you walk up to them, dare them to come to you, and you press W and chunk for them for half their health.
There we go. That's a fight. Monsoon going to push that Volibear back. Where is the Volibear? He's using the ultimate to try to get out, and he might not even do so. Runs over the Lissandra's ice. Just goes down instantly. Hardy C gonna be able to leap out of this one just fine. The Galio doesn't even have the hero's entrance right now.
Meanwhile in the top lane.
Yeah, meanwhile the top lane actually things looking pretty decent. Protobelt back in. Health being given back. Unable to find that Empower Q for now. I believe that was a flash being popped by the Vladimir. Things, yeah, I mean things are looking a little okay here for POF, but
not for long.
Yeah.
Bot and mid look like there's going to be something spicy happening very soon.
Bot and mid already looking pretty spicy. In fact, from the moment the game started, from that disastrous level 1 fight, Galio 1, 3, and 2 for now. Might be able to clear the waves out at the very least. However, this is the story of the game right here. Just the bear being chased out of the jungle by the Jax.
This is a type of game where you expect to see a Flame Horizon. In multiple roles, in fact. I think KEKW, they are so dominant. In fact, we don't even have to look at that. I mean, the Vayne just picks off the Ezreal, which honestly should never happen, but I guess... Wait, no, the Ezreal picks off the Vayne. That makes a little bit more sense.
Yep.
And now they just have free reign over taking over this tower. They're going to get at least a couple more plates, I believe. There is going to be a bit of rotation from both the mid laner and the jungler. But looks like nothing is going to come of that, as KEKW is just going to pick up more plates. And the Rift Herald on the top side.
Yep, that's right. Rift Herald is basically even more plates right now. 11 minutes in the game. Things looking pretty good for KEKW. They have themselves about a 6,000 goal lead. If I'm doing my math correctly in my head, I think that's about 6,000. Yep, quick math. And again, who is it on? Everyone.
Everyone. I mean, that's fair enough. All their lanes are super strong right now, and this is the worst situation you could possibly be in from POF. I mean, you misplayed the early fight. Honestly, they misplayed it massively. And right now, KEKW, they've just not let go of this lead that they've garnered for themselves in the past few minutes. They're just accelerating the pace of the game. They're looking for fights all across the map because they know that they can take it, and there's no chance for POF to come in and try to even give an answer to this fight. They can't claw their way back because they're not given any opportunity to do so.
Yeah, that's right. Just really KEKW just clamping down, not allowing POF to find any way back in. The moment the Volibear tries to find any farm, there are people waiting for him. Look at this. This poor man is half the CS of the Jax. And it's probably gonna... The gap is probably gonna even increase. In fact, Volibear just finished his jungle item and Jax is nearly done with that Trinity Force.
Whew, that is sad. At this point, there's not much for you to do as Volibear, right? You just walk around, you try to get the you try to get the camps that you can, you try to steal some kills. No, at least at this point you don't even try to steal the kills. This bot lane towers, this gotta go down to this Rift Herald, and KEKW, they're looking very decisive, they're looking very dominant on this entire Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, that's right. Very, very, very decisive showing right now from them as they use that Rift Herald to kind of claim that bottom turret. The dragon is up and Volibear is showing up in the top lane. Is he going to be able to fight anything? That's the question here. And the answer, unfortunately, is no.
Take a look at how fast Garen's health bar melted. Volibear's health bar would melt like twice as fast as him. I think there was a world where if this Vladimir was slightly stronger, he could have turned that around and gotten 2 kills from that 2v1. That's how strong this champion is right now. And usually you wait and see the Vladimir pop off around the 28-29 minute mark, right? But right now it's accelerated so damn quickly that the item disparity is so huge they can already take these one-on-one fights. He can, no, he was almost able to take the 2v1.
Yes, that's right. I mean, honestly, for this poor Volibear right now, I don't know. He managed to get the red buff away from his opponents, but honestly, I think that's about it.
Yeah, they're trying their best. The execution coming in from POF, they're doing alright. They're absorbing some of the pressure that has been exerted from KEKW as we see the center ult used somewhere. Ezreal's a little low right now. Volibear might have an opportunity here, but nope. They're just going to take the dragon, KEKW, distracting the mid lane a little bit, and now they're pushing forward once again.
Whoa!
What in the world was that?
My goodness. I wasn't sure if I should cut in there, and then I just realized he went down so fast. I'm like, that right there is Ezreal.
Will he get the blue buff? Will he get the blue buff?
No. Yes!
He got the blue buff!
I did it! But that being said, he's going to be able to walk out with his life. Right now, Hard EC actually going to get stunned up right now. May have walked a bit too far forward.
Oh, he gets it!
There we go. That is the way back into the game. This bear, he's going to go nuts after this.
Yeah, they're taking small victories where they can get them. The question now becomes whether or not these small victories will be able to eventually amount to a large victory on the map. But right now you can see that they're continuously being bullied out from the mid lane. But they're continuously being bullied out from all the lanes except for the jungle for a moment there. And it's, again, still very difficult for them to get back in, but this might be an opportunity going in the mid.
Yep, that's right. But so much damage coming out from this Ezreal. He's going to get stunned out. However, Volibear's shield coming down, and oh, nice Monsoon there, but it's not enough. The root coming down, and finally, the Ezreal goes down. Was able to put out so much damage though, but here comes Lissandra. I'm Human is going to try to look for that cleaning up the claw coming in and flashes in. That's the first one going down. Still, I believe, has the ultimate, and it's just wow, look at that damage from the Luden's Echo. Doesn't even need to use that Lissandra ultimate. Finally, actually just comes up, and teleport's coming in as well. It's probably just going to be used, but silence and dunked down. Demacian Justice from the skies, and Aura Clarity shows us how to play Garen.
Yeah, and Lissandra passive, that was the main damage dealer with, along with the Luden's Echo, of course, that chunked the Senna for basically 50% of her health. It was, you know, insane the amount of damage this Lissandra puts out right now. 5-2 and 4 on this champion. I think he started 2-0 and 3 after the initial fight. So definitely accelerating at a slower pace than we would expect, but definitely still having a lot of damage, being able to pull her own weight.
Yeah, that's right. Has that Ludens, has that Proto Belt. Those are the two items that you need to do a significant amount of damage. And right now, 16 minutes in with an Infernal Dragon as well. Just ridiculous amounts of damage coming out. Ezreal completing that Triforce and Manamune as well by 16 minutes. In fact, that is so far ahead. Usually I see people completing just one of these items at 16 minutes. So absolutely ridiculous stuff coming out right now.
Yeah, 100%. You blank out POF's side, right? You look at KEKW's side. You look at the items they have. You would say that this game is now 26 minutes in, but I don't have time for that. They're going to go in.
Yep, that's right. They're going in, and look at this Senna's already going to be falling down to sub 100 health. Going to use that Ghost to try to get out, but Volibear might not be as lucky. They're going to try to regroup right now. Hard EC chasing them down. Going to get rooted up. Volibear is surely going to fall, but here comes that Lissandra flank. 2 easy kills going to be given over to I'm Human, and KEKW with an absolute dominance showing right now over POF.
Yep, dominance is absolutely the word as KEKW. They basically roll over POF in the entire fight. It's going to be a 3-0, and now they have priority over the mid lane. They're going to try to siege it with a flanking Janna Tornado.
Yeah, look at that Tornado. They're forcing a flash from Tartarsaurus. Has the Hemo Plague on, but Vladimir just going to flash straight in with that pool. Tartarsaurus is going to go down. Aura Clarity is the only one available to defend this turret right now. But
where did she come from?
Lissandra just appearing out of nowhere now. this might be a bit of an over chase here from the Vladimir, but really, Lissandra just showing up in their base at 17 minutes, and that's another turret going down, this time in the mid lane.
Yeah, for sure. We are going to see basically an objective take. They're not going to get inhibitor just yet. It's still a very strong showing from KEKW. Only 17 minutes in the game. That's an inhibitor turret. The base is open at 18 minutes in the game. This is 12k gold lead. Again, at 18 minutes in the game. This is insane. You don't usually see this. And the fact of the matter is that, sure, the opportunity was basically handed on a silver platter over to KEKW by POF from the initial fight. But the fact that they were able to escalate it this quickly and this much just speaks to how well coordinated they are as a team.
That's right. The main carries on the side of KEKW have doubled the amount of gold
Jesus.
from their 80 carry and from their mid lane. It's absolutely ridiculous stuff you're seeing here. The Herald is still up right now, and that means KEKW are going to try to place some focus on that right now. Limit testing already with the Ardent Sensor.
Now Jax and Janna right now, they're just playing a bit of a tag team. When Jax is a little bit of trouble, he just jumps over to the Janna and he's out to safety.
Yeah, that's right. Everything's going to be just fine for them right now. Lissandra split pushing the ball lane, has the teleport. Hard is he going to start up on that Rift Herald? They still have 1 more minute, and Tartarus just dies off screen right now. It doesn't really matter at all. Look at this. There's going to be a fight coming in. Limit testing might get caught out there. Uses the Monsoon, but already gets stunned up and silenced, and it's dropping lower and lower. But meanwhile, Hard is going to pump out a lot of damage. That means the Janna is going down. However, Volibear going to fall as well. And now the fight has kind of split up. Vladimir just going to finish off that Senna with no problem whatsoever. And I'm Human has finally arrived into the fight. Uses the Proto Belt, uses the ultimate, and Ocean Gaming is going to go down as well. And that's a very, very easy ace right there from KEKW.
It took them 3 members and about 30 seconds to kill the support.
Yeah.
And they traded their entire team for it. I don't know, you tell me if that's worth. But right now, KEKW just gonna force their advantage. You're gonna push in top and in mid lane. They should be able to get this inhibitor.
They have the Herald. So
they
might
do.
even look for the end. Okay, no, never mind. Hard EC.
Oh, my apologies. I thought they actually took the inhibitor turret previously, but I guess I saw that wrongly. Now, in the top lane, they should be able to secure this one as well with this minion wave now coming in and Jax rotating towards the top side.
Yeah, they're just gonna probably just gonna take that Mountain Drake, and then probably gonna use that Rift Herald somewhere in either mid or top lane after they reset right now. Hard EC, he's gonna recall. He's gonna come back with even more items right here. We see the Aegis coming out. That's gonna be built into a Death's Dance at any time.
This might be the singularly highest gold lead that I will have ever seen at the end of a League of Legends match.
Yeah.
That's just how huge of a stomp this is. This is a 15k gold lead at 20 minutes. This is not a normal league match, right?
Yeah.
You, as POF right now, you're looking towards the second game because let's be real, this game is over. You have to mentally reset. You have to, you know, understand that you can't go for those interesting early game plays because your micro is just honestly not up to par against KEKW. Again, the rank disparity comes into mind.
Yep.
So right now you want to play the map slightly better. You want to calm yourself down. You want to prepare yourself to take the fight to them in the next game. And Senna, you just get... Whoa, what is that damage?
Stuff right there from the Ezreal. 1 more hit. Doesn't even need to land the auto tank, just uses the arcane shift.
No.
And that means that Senna's going to go down for the 6th time this game. Teleport's coming in as well. Galio, I'm not too sure what you're doing here, my friend. You're just going to go down. In fact, that's a surrender.
Oh, surrender. Wow.
21 minutes in. Absolute destruction here from KEKW. And POF really need to get their mental reset.
I didn't even know they were allowed to surrender, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, if that game was allowed to carry on, right, it would definitely have been the greatest stomp in Campus Legends that I would have ever seen.
Yep, that's
without a doubt.
Yeah, that's
Let's
right.
look at the damage graph.
Oh.
Insane. Absolutely. That is disgusting. That should not be allowed. That is illegal. What in the world is that?
That is highly illegal stuff there from the Ezreal. 24,000 damage. Okay, let's do the math here. Did Ezreal do more damage than the entire enemy team?
No, he did slightly. He did a little bit, just a little bit less.
Just a little bit less. But that one Ezreal there, just basically doing the same amount of damage as the entire enemy team. That's just.
You can see I'm very relaxed right now because honestly, after that game, I am exhausted. My mental has boom. I'm sure, and I'm just a caster. You have to imagine the position that the players are in right now, right? You have to get rid of the tilt. You have to be able to come in strong for game number 2. You have to hit the ground running, and you cannot have the same sort of early game against the likes of KEKW.
Yeah, that's right. No level 1 int, I think, pretty much sums up what they need to fix. I mean, of course, there are a lot of other things, but it all starts at the start of the game. I mean, obviously. But the thing is that if you just go ahead and 0-2-1 yourself at the start, then, it just makes it in even even a bigger, even a tall order to put it in one way, right? For you to be able to come back and win this game.
Yeah, and they were definitely handshaking a lot of fights in the early game that they should not have.
Yep, that's
But
right.
again, we have to look at the draft, right? From Power of Friendship, they have this tendency to draft themselves into this hole where if the AD carry does not perform well, they're just doomed. And you saw the Vayne in that entire game, 20 minutes, 3,000 damage.
Yep.
Absolutely unacceptable if you're drafting to have your if you're drafting to have your AD carry, because that clearly didn't happen. The rest of your members, even though sure the Garen may have gotten a hit at some point in the game, but he does not have enough damage to take over the game like an AD carry could have, or a champion like Darius could have.
Yep.
So draft multiple threats. I don't understand why it's so difficult. Just go for multiple threats. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly, the commitment to the Vayne right there, it's just unheard of. I mean, you look at your AD carry and you're like, okay, yeah, I mean, obviously an AD carry does damage, right? But to have your AD carry basically promise that they need to solo carry the entire thing, right? It's just
too much commitment.
Yeah, too much commitment. That's
Too
right.
much commitment for the AD carry
Yeah.
to deal with. Now, I believe we have to go for a mental reset almost as much as those players have to go for a mental reset. So we will see you in game number 2 of the finals. For now, I'm Spoots. This is Escape Artist. We'll be right back.
Yep.
JBL presents the sounds of victory. JBL Quantum Gaming headsets, because every sound matters.
You got the best of me. You got the best of me. 넌 나의 cool boy, 넌 나의 champ, 넌 너만의
And welcome back to Campus Legends here. We are at the finals, possibly the final game. It's match point right now for the finals of the TP qualifiers. Again, we have the Power of Friendship going up against KEKW. KEKW, in a very, very convincing fashion, they're securing the first game with about 16,000 gold lead at 21 minutes.
Yeah, KEKW effectively just laughing in the face of Power of Friendship, not doing much. Power of Friendship not really putting much of a fight in their first games. I really want to see an improvement in terms of how they managed to do the early level 1. So I think one of the things that they were trying to emulate was actually yesterday, where we saw a 5-man Galio taunt actually just swing the early game in the favor of, I forgot the name of the team, but basically it was huge, right?
Yep.
But the thing about that, the difference between that and today was that today's games, You taunt them for 0.1 seconds. That's not going to be much
Yeah.
difference. Yesterday they walked into you in the bush, and that's really when Galio is most effective because you're able to charge that taunt into your maximum potential
Yep.
before actually using it and locking up. I think it was 4 members yesterday.
and-
Today, not effective. We want to see improvements, but what do you think?
I think that since Galio can no longer taunt flash,
Right.
he flash taunted just now, in, as you said, 0.1
Yeah.
seconds. So I think honestly right
Might
now,
as well don't do it.
yeah, if you don't have a concrete strategy, right, then all you need to do is just don't invade, guys. Cross out the invade. Just forget about it.
Oh,
It's
word.
fine. We can do some other
Ooh.
thing, right? Try to get cross. But power of friendship, bringing it back,
Yeah, the
bringing
Darius.
back the Darius right there.
Oh my god. Okay, so Darius, we're definitely looking at him take over.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen 2 matches in a row where he's picked, where he absolutely just ruffle stomped the enemy team.
Yep, that's right.
Is he gonna make it 3 in a row? I think there's definitely a possibility to do so, unless KEKW they have I don't know, something up their sleeve. And keep in mind, Power of Friendship, they're definitely the mechanical underdogs going into this game, right? There's no question about that. So perhaps they're looking at the previous games, they're like, hey, Darius looks like a show-win policy. Let's pick him. But the issue with that is that, especially in the previous series, we saw Darius picked, but he didn't really have an impact until he got several kills
Yeah.
entered effectively into him. So there's definitely a setup that has to take place.
Of course.
And I hope they don't think that this Darius, right, is a show-in policy. You definitely have to devote a lot of resources into getting him going initially.
Yeah, they do pick up the Lissandra as well, which would allow for some proactive roaming from that mid laner to try to help to snowball this here Darius, which is probably going up against either, I would say, Pantheon or Volibear, or maybe even Rise. So definitely gonna be able to take these people down, because now these people have like a real concrete escape out of the Lissandra ultimate, other than Flash, of course. So if they can snowball this Darius, right, Power of Friendship definitely has a way to win this game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Power of Friendship, they definitely... I don't think we've seen their full potential, right? Because honestly, in the previous game, they just fell flat on their face. I think that's the easiest way you can put
Yeah.
it, right? It's not flame, it's just how it went. And save for another disastrous early game, this game, I think they can definitely have a stronger showing. Whether or not they'll be enough to take down KEKW is a different story entirely, but I definitely have higher hopes than what we saw in the previous game for Power of Friendship.
Yeah, that's right. Keeping those high hopes, hoping that they would be able to take this game back. I mean, we've seen them be pretty powerful, and no, that Ivan is definitely a troll.
Ivan's viable right now, to be honest. Teemo, not so much.
Yeah, Teemo not so much, definitely. I mean, we saw Power of Friendship previously pick up some other interesting jugglers, and yep, they're gonna change
Okay.
over. And are they just copying?
My eye
cop-
twitched
the
there for a moment. But it does look like they are going to go for
Yeah.
it. Look for them, why not?
Yeah, I mean, they're basically just taking KEKW's comp. They're like, alright, you guys want to play Jax? You guys want to play Lissandra? You guys want to play Ezreal? Okay, we just take them. And KEKW actually picking up the Nunu. We've seen kind of a little mini meta here, a little mini TP meta.
Sure.
We've seen emphasis on Lissandra pick. We've seen emphasis on Nunu, on Galio. We've seen emphasis on, of course, Volibear, but Jax as well, something they don't see very much here. Darius also. So you can just kind of see the little differences in each school's meta. I mean, compared with yesterday, for
Right.
example, where you saw, well, Katarina.
You're not going to see much of that unless you have
Of
really
course.
like Katarina familiar players going for that. But we do see Olaf locked in.
What is
All-
this? What is this here from KEKW?
This is
What is this?
I don't want to...
Place your bets, come on.
So you want me to
I want you
to
to
bet
bet-
on who goes where?
Yeah, who goes where?
They all go in mid lane and they play ARAM.
That is like 6,000 IQ.
I mean, honestly, this is just KEKW throwing down the gauntlet. They're saying we are strong enough to the point where we don't even have to play standard in order to win. They're not even picking a standard AD carry. I mean, standard bot laner. Like even if you're gonna go for a non-AD carry, you look to the Syndra, you look to the Cassiopeia. You don't look to whatever the heck this is.
Nunu and Willump in the bottom lane. In the mid lane?
Disco Nunu. Let's run it down, boys.
Oh boy. Disco Nunu. Okay. Now, so before we try to make sense of whatever this amalgamation of champions is on side of KEKW, let's move over to Power of Friendship.
Okay,
Right now.
sure, I can work with that. Yeah.
Their comp looks I would say it looks more solid. It looks more obvious about who's going where. I mean, pretty standard stuff. Darius top, Jack's gonna go jungle, Lissandra gonna go mid, and Ezreal and Blitzcrank bot lane. Not exactly something that I like either, because as you mentioned before, Ezreal is not a kill lane,
Yeah.
but they picked
I was
Blitzcrank.
exactly going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe want to elaborate a bit more on that then.
I mean, there's not much else to say. Ezreal, you don't want to go kill anyone.
Mhm.
You are a passive laner. You pick the Blitzcrank. The Blitzcrank's not going to do anything in your lane. He's going to go for roams.
Yep.
And the thing is, right, when we talk about Hayasaka, this is a player where we've seen actually look for those roams.
Yep.
But unfortunately for him, he's not really good at looking for the opportunities to go for these roams. Time after time, we've seen him get caught out by the enemy team when he goes towards the mid lane or tries to go help the jungler. And that just contributes to Hayasaka not having that good of a KDA to show for himself. And I think when you go the Ezreal Blitzcrank, you're not only placing this Blitzcrank in a vulnerable position when you place him on a player who doesn't really know how to utilize the champion's roam potential to the
Yep.
full advantage, but you're also leaving the Ezreal alone in his lane. And that is very, very dangerous against the compositions like KEKW, because keep in mind, now that we transition over to them, they are pretty much a dive comp. They can all jump on you
Yep.
from very far away. I think that is the point of this composition. It's going to be a huge party under whatever
Wait.
turret they deem fit. This Ezreal is not going to be safe wherever he goes.
I see what's going on. Do you see this right now in KEKW? They have the Ryze and Nunu combo. They're gonna build a full AP Nunu in the mid lane.
Oh no.
They're gonna
Oh, no.
use absolute zero,
Oh, no.
and they don't even need to Empire the ultimate, right?
Oh no.
They're just gonna use that Ryze Realm Warp to transport the Nunu into the enemy team and just smack him in the face with a 2,000 damage nuke.
Sorry, I'm sorry, what? Sorry, what? Sorry, I zoned out because,
Alright.
what?
Yes, TLDR, Nunu plus Ryze, OP.
Yeah. I mean, it's OP if we can pull it off.
Oh,
for
of
sure.
course, if we can pull it off.
Right, but this is, it's honestly a little ridiculous. All
Yeah.
memes aside, definitely showing a little bit of disrespect over the power of friendship, or perhaps just trying something out. They do
Yeah.
have a little bit of leeway. If they lose this game, they definitely have something else where they can come back
Of course.
into it. Obviously, you won the 2-0, but right now, Campus Legends, Community Sherman, the stakes are not that high just yet. You
Yeah.
want to have a little bit of fun where you can. And when you look at this competition, they're definitely having a little bit of fun.
A little bit of fun would probably be an understatement right now.
A little bit.
A little bit, yes. Well, Ryze in the bottom lane actually looking pretty decent compared to what we thought just now was the Nunu bot lane. I think Ryze is a okay bot laner. I mean, you do want to try to get Ryze as much solo experience as possible, but in the
Right.
bot lane, it's still alright. Yeah, I mean, with Pantheon at least, with a guaranteed stun, you can basically lock someone up for a pretty decent amount of time. And if it's Ezreal, you might not even give him enough time to Arcane Shift before he just gets bursted down by the damage.
Honestly, my prediction here is that it's gonna be Ryze versus Ezreal,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be Blitzcrank and Pantheon somewhere in the jungler trying to help out their jungler or mid laner.
Perhaps.
Because when you have the Ezreal, again, passive laner, you want to leave him there and you can go and roam on the Blitzcrank since you are a kill support. And in the form of Ryze and Pantheon, that's basically the same thing. You want your Ryze to farm up until he becomes that super duper huge late game threat.
Yep, that's right.
And the Pantheon definitely has the potential to go up for roams. You can play him in the jungle. I see no reason why you can't have him in support, but have him, transition out of the lane
Yes.
to look for kills elsewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Again, with the guaranteed leap on the Pantheon to land the stun, you can be pretty scary if you roam to the mid lane. I mean, we have Lissandra to follow up with all the CC that she can offer, and Pantheon definitely has a fair amount of burst as well in the early game, especially with the Comet Spear, I believe that's what it's called, the
Right.
Q, where if you use it on a low health target, it crits, so it does even more damage than if you take like Electrocute or something. You can really one-shot someone, basically.
But possibly not on support Pantheon, right? If he goes for a supportive build, I don't expect him to be able to one-shot someone even in the early game.
If
If
he goes for a supportive build.
Okay, that's fair enough, but I do believe that, when you go the Pantheon into the Ryze, you don't really have that much of a, how do I say this, peel and supportive potential. So I think when you pick the Pantheon, you have to go up that route. Still, doesn't mean he can't have backup, doesn't mean he can't have call in some support
Of
from
course.
his mid laner or jungler, and together they could probably pick up a kill that way. But again, this is a very ridiculous team composition. It's not something we see all the time. It will come down to how they play it.
Yep.
And personally, I'm very, very excited to see how this goes, because it's not every day where you see a team comfortable with themselves enough to go for an interesting sort of
Yes.
composition like this. And it really shows to me that this team is very confident in their abilities and each other. And this is a very, very good sign for not only Temasek Polytechnic, but Campus Legends as a whole.
Mhm. Yeah, that's right. It just shows that some teams are able to be comfortable enough with each other to just pick these. I would call them exotic comps. I mean, this I would call it the Portable Empire Nunu comp, right?
Portable Empire Nunu.
Yeah, that's right. Because Empire Nunu has been used sit in the bush and no one knows,
Right.
right? But here's the thing: if you deliver the Nunu to your opponent, then there's no need to sit in the bush.
Yeah, instead of running to the realm mode where you think you can get an easy kill on the rise, no. Get the hell away from there as soon as you can.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. There's no, if you don't predict this realm walk coming, if you don't predict this basically this nuke that is being instantly teleported into your team, then you could really just die.
You just die.
Just
I mean,
die.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean it is
I
match
can't really
point.
add anything to
Yeah,
that.
taking it back, of course, it is match point
True.
for these teams, and the stakes, as you say, are not that high at the moment. But of
And
course,
the stakes are not that high for
KEKW, yeah. But the stakes are everything right now for the Power of Friendship. If they want to bring the Power of Friendship to the group stages, and we are on Summoner's Rift right now for what could be the final game of this series, for the final game of this TP qualifier. It's POF going up against KEKW. Let's go.
Yeah, it's gonna be meta versus comfort. It's not even comfort. It's just
Fun.
fun. Yeah, fun. Let's put it that way. We do see the Nunu going with Dark Harvest as well, so it's gonna be
Oh.
pretty interesting. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I really
Yep.
can't predict what's gonna happen,
They are predicting
but
an
I am
invade.
excited.
Or they're going for a late invade for themselves. In fact, because there is a Blitzcrank, I just realized there's a Blitzcrank. And here comes the Nunu ball. Dun 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 dun. Dun into the wall. And I think that's about it. Yep, that's about it. They walk over a ward and they walk away.
Yeah, Lissandra not being distracted by the shop or anything does get away in time, not going to give over a kill. They obviously wanted to go for a little bit of a early shenanigans, possibly get a lead like they did in the previous game. But it seems that POF, they've learned from their
Nope.
mistakes. They're not going to allow that to happen. But as soon as I say that, Blitzcrank is looking pretty dangerous here in this bot side river.
Yeah, he's gonna walk in. There are danger pinks right now from his team, so obviously fearing that. But wait a minute, what's this? It's an invade coming in, and you invading the Blitzcrank. Ooh, scary stuff here. Jack's gonna be forced to walk a little bit away. They're gonna be able to sweep the wards on and actually claim about 30 gold right now. Small little leads that count. The Undertow does land through all this, and the question right now is who is going to be able to land
Yeah.
the smite. Look at Ocean Gaming. He's roaming over already. Exhaust coming down a fair amount of damage onto limit testing, and here comes Ocean Gaming. He's going to walk in hard EC, dropping solo on that Olaf. However, being low on the Olaf is when you are the most powerful, and uses the
Not a
Undertow
level
and
one.
actually heals off that Conqueror. And right now, things looking fair enough. They jump straight back onto Hayasaka, who's going to be able to heal right now. Limit testing, he's actually forced to flash away himself. And what has been gained from this? Just an exchange of summoner spells, really. But they're going to walk back in, and they're going to start out this again right now. And they're going to actually just walk back into their jungle. This is Fiesta at its best.
And nobody dies. Gerard, what in the world are we watching right now? This is League of Legends at its weirdest right now. You're not going to see this anywhere else.
This is peak League of Legends, and it
No,
starts
no.
in
We are not
Canvas
giving that. We are
Legends.
not gonna give it that. No. But in that initial invade, I'm not sure why they went for it, because honestly, you don't really win that as KEKW. Nobody died, sure, and you did burn a lot of summoner spells from the bot lane. I believe POF does not have any summoner spells in their bot lane at all.
Yep.
But the fact is, you're not the strongest right now. Olaf at level 1 does not have enough tools to be able to run down an enemy team in their jungle. So going for that was a little ambitious. They were looking for something. The idea was alright, but in the mid lane, they're just gonna do this again.
Yeah, watching this Nunu lane is just... It's really hilarious, honestly. Just taking a look at him, just run snowball after snowball into Ocean Gaming. And the things that Ocean Gaming can't even sidestep them. In
What?
fact, just the first blood there, the power of Darius, I guess?
Game's over. Game's over. 3 minutes. He got a kill. Game's over.
Yeah, that's right. Picking up that solo kill there with that Ghost Flash Darius top lane. Again,
That was
some-
a joke, by the way.
again, something that we did not mention is the buff on the Darius Ghost there. Ghost has been buffed again, and might not even have time to talk about that, because here we see the Jax actually taking the proactive moves here, trying to chase the Nunu out of the lane. But here's the thing, Nunu's just gonna eat something and he's just gonna be fine.
That's basically how this lane goes. One of the things I have noticed, because sometimes I cast 1v1 tournaments, is that
Yep. Oh, well, there's a fight going on right now, and Nunu just getting snowballed straight in the head. there. Actually, Nunu throwing the snowball straight in the Lissandra's head, and Ocean Gaming gets frozen over, goes down.
Like I said, 1v1 tournaments, the two most strongest champions. Well, it used to be Tamkench and Nunu, but Tamkench got a bunch of nerfs in solo lane, so I would wager that right now Nunu is the strongest 1v1 champions in the mid lane scenario because of all the sustain that he does bring to the table, and definitely proving it right now, getting the one kill on the opposing laner.
Yeah, that's right. And if we see what's going on right now in the top lane, there's gank coming down. Is Fam going to be able to land that stun? Yes.
Jax is here.
And Oral's Clarity taking a fair amount of damage. Might not fall just yet, though will have the Q anytime to heal. Actually staying alive thanks to his Jax.
Yeah, staying alive thanks to the Jax. Nobody died in this initial fight top side, but right now KEKW, they're pushing on just a little bit. Mid lane is not going to move up to help, and the Darius is very, very low. Definitely have to play this very, very safely.
Yeah, well, the Darius is very
But
low.
KEKW back off.
Volibear is very low as well. And with the knowledge that the Jax is still around, they don't dare to just dive this right now. Hardy, is he going to clear out the ward? And that might be a mistake there. He's going to be dropped below 300 health, going to get pulled down, going to get CC'd, and going to get taken down. Volibear walking up with that thunder and the police sirens, but it's too late, my friend. Your jungle has already been murdered. Ooh. Oh, wow.
Just missing the hook by a little bit is the Blitzcrank. They're going to get away. They're going to back off POF. Just going to reset in the bot side. But one thing I want to bring your attention to is that Darius, he has Executioner's Calling.
Yep, that's right. He's going to
First item.
stopping that Volibear from healing.
And the Olaf.
Yeah, and the Olaf as well. And I think that might be a reason why the Olaf went down just now, just because of the Executioner's Calling that Darius has the level 6. We'll be looking for some dunks soon. Meanwhile, in the bot lane here, Blitzcrank trying his best to stop
I don't know what
the
he's doing.
opponents, but unfortunately, when your enemy support can tank 2 turret shots without taking any damage, you don't want to be doing that kind of thing.
I don't know what he's doing. That is not what you do against Pantheon. You absolutely cannot do that. Again, KEKW, their composition is perfectly suited for diving, especially their bot lane with the Pantheon, like you said, can shield up against 2 or 3 tower shots. Blitzcrank just insta-kill over.
Yeah, that's right. Pretty much insta-kill over, and here comes
he find
the
him?
Nunu.
Oh.
Is he gonna find that snowball? Oh,
Wait.
no, actually gets pulled back here, and a lot of damage being landed already, but no mana for the Darius ulti, I think. Oh, wow. That is a picture-perfect moment right there. I'm Human gonna take down the top laner from the side of POF just as he bleeds out himself. A 1-for-1 exchange there.
Yeah, and keep in mind, this is a 1-for-1. This is your mid laner for your top laner. So this frees up the individual solo laners to go for something. But right now in the bot side, Ezreal is caught out.
Yep, that's right. Uses the Arcane Shift, but it has a 30-second cooldown, my friend, and that's going to be too late. And why would you hook the Pantheon? I'm honestly not too sure about that one. Ryze is going to pick up 1 kill, going to be happy about that one. Going to want to get that late game scaling accelerated, basically.
Yeah, and Jax has to get out of here because right now with the Ezreal down and with... What is this?
This is peak League of Legends. Once again, oh, but look at this flash in. Another stun's going to be landed here. Nunu dropping pretty low, but the heal from that bite right there. In fact, Ocean Gaming missed out on the Q, and I think that's why I'm Human is going to be able to walk out of this one alive just barely. And Blitzcrank coming in. It's not going to get the kill, but the Dragon is dropping to 3 health. Hook does not land. Unfortunately, Hardy C is going to be forced to flash over. So that's going to be a Dragon for the mid laner.
Yeah, I believe there was a 1+ dragon.
Yep.
Wait.
No.
Dragon 4
Dragon 4 mid laner, yeah.
Okay, so that's sort of worth it. I mean, it's a Nunu mid laner. You're not gonna cry too much over losing a Nunu for the Dragon, especially as an Ocean Drake is gonna help them sustain in these lanes a little bit more, which is something I believe these guys lack. But again, Fiesta in the bot.
Yep, that's right. Once again, Fiesta in the bot here. Hayasaka, the cleanse being used by that Ryze. Now everyone's going to be jumping onto limit testing. Who's dropping below 300 health. Going to try to go back in. But here comes the Lissandra Ocean Gaming. Is he going to be able to use that Frozen Tomb? Does not have it, actually. And Ryze is going to be able to walk out just fine.
Whew, and what an intense 8 minutes it has been in this bot lane. Fight after fight. Never letting it up. We said both these champions, Ryze and Ezreal, they want to scale up. But so far it's not happening. They're just being assaulted with
Here's
all
the
these
thing.
fights. But
Okay.
mid lane, Darius is going for Nunu.
Yeah, Darius going for Nunu. Is he going to be able to land the hook? Lands that hook right there. And the claw for the follow-up. Rude, but I'm Human manages to flash away. But now the Darius has the bleed stacks. Dumped straight down onto Nunu and Willem. I don't know if the Noxian Guillotine hits both of them. But still, now Darius with 3 kills. Looking pretty strong.
Yeah, it looks like standard meta composition right now is starting to edge out just a little bit. 3-1 and 1 on this Darius. This is again the threshold that we look to see whether or not he might pop off. But right now he has no mana and he's in a fight.
Yeah, that's right. Uses Nox and Guillotine to pump as much damage as possible. However, Volibear going to use that ultimate and going to use that healing. And is he going to bleed out? Yes! He does bleed out, but he does manage to clinch the shutdown gold. So it's going to be another 1-for-1, but the shutdown gold makes it worth it.
Absolutely, and this is the second time Darius has died for a 1-for-1 in a 1v1. It's very interesting. It's a... what is it? Tactical inting? I'm not sure.
Yes.
But right now, Hard EC is going to be the one
It's-
who gets priority over the Rift Herald.
Yeah, it is
Should be taking it.
accelerating the scaling. You talked about how Rise and Ezreal want to scale, and that's right, they do want to scale, but they want to scale as fast as possible. So they just send everything down into a Clown Fiesta at bot lane. Why not?
Alright,
Yeah,
Clown
get
Fiesta in
items
the bot
faster.
lane. So that is the name of the game. That's what we've seen so far. I don't expect it to let up anytime soon, especially with Dragon spawning in like a few minutes, 3 minutes I believe from now. There should be a little bit of setup coming through on KEKW, but honestly it doesn't even matter. They're just going to go for the fight anyway.
Yeah, that's right. They're going to be hanging around bot lane, and we might see this delivery system executed. Nunu has the absolute zero. Rise has the realm warp. They're hanging around that bush together. Any moment now. Any moment now. This Blitzcrank and Ezreal lane. Oh, but Jax is coming down as well. That's 3 times the damage you can do, but he might just blast corners out. Actually, he's just going to take it. And he's going to play it safe just for now. Action happening all around, but no one has been spotted. Limit testing. Good. And there we go. That's the
here we
delivery
go.
system I was talking about. Ooh, look at that health bar. Where did it go? It just absolutely disappeared. But right now, this dive isn't the best thing for them to do. There's a fair amount of damage being returned right now on the side of POF. However, Ocean Gaming is going to fall down. One more axe from the Brolaf will do the trick. And Pantheon, limit testing. He's actually ulting straight back in. And right now, there's just so much going on all over the map. There has been a solo kill in the top lane as well. Volibear able to solo kill that Darius. And I believe it's a delayed ace right now for KEKW.
Yeah, it looks super duper messy, but the execution was absolutely clean coming in from KEKW. They get a ton of fights and they get a ton of kills in the bot lane. They get the kill in top as well, and now they're gonna be they're able to secure a ton of replatings from this bot lane turret as well.
Yeah, top lane as well.
Yeah.
Because Darius has no teleport. In fact, Lissandra kind of has teleport if he wants to stop this. But Volibear's just gonna sense the low health bar and decide to walk away satisfied with the fact that he was able to solo kill this Darius, who actually has a completed item and should not be losing these kind of fights.
Absolutely, it's interesting coming from the side of Darius. We thought he might actually pick up the pace and start to take over the game, but it seems like that has not come to fruition just yet. We'll keep our eye on this champion a little bit longer to see what happens in the next few minutes. Definitely still has the potential to really ramp up and again pop off in this game, but so far we've not seen that happen. We are going to see Olaf path towards the top side, possibly preparing to put down this Rift Herald. It's been a few minutes since he's got it, so should be expiring within a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. He's probably gonna just plop it down on mid lane, throws down that Brolaf X just to poke out a little bit, but here comes the Nunu once again to the top lane. The Volibear police sirens are running, and Darius is going to get knocked up. The shields are going to come down as well. The teleport might be too late right now. Darius is going to go down, and who's teleporting in? It's Ocean Gaming, and Ocean Gaming is out of here. Doesn't want to be a part of this at all. Just uses that claw to instantly get out, and now the mid lane is free to be pushed. Or is it though? Because Blitzcrank is here to int, I guess? Yeah, I mean, he's going to miss that hook, and oh my goodness, look at what's going on here. Ocean Gaming.
He should have claw.
Yeah,
Soon.
no, not just yet. Gonna get rooted up. Yeah, there we go. That's the claw. But he gave the Dark Harvest stack over to Nunu, so worth.
Nunu gets the Dark Harvest stack, and that's exactly what I was talking about, right? This Blitzcrank. This player has not really shown that he's known where to path and when to path correctly, so definitely should not be giving over these easy kills over to the side of KEKW when you move towards the mid lane, and it's just a little bit of sloppy macro play coming through from the side of POF.
Yeah, that's right. Really just sloppy is the right word here for POF. They've just been looking sloppy. They're trying to go for this dragon right now. They have no priority at all. I'm Human is just going to walk straight in there with that snowball. He's going to use that absolute zero. They're going to secure the dragon as well. And an absolute bloodbath right now in the dragon pit. 3 going down for POF as well as the dragon.
Yep, you start the dragon, unfortunately you can't finish it. You give over a bunch of kills, and in the mid lane we did see a bit of a... We saw the starting of the fight, but it looks like KEKW is just gonna back away. They know that they don't have enough mana to contest this Darius just yet, especially on the turret. So, they're just gonna back away. They already have Rift Herald top side. They're gonna secure a fair chunk of damage onto this tier 2 turret.
Yeah, that's right. They're gonna get 2 charges off with that Rift Herald. Gonna take a fair amount off this top lane in a turret right now. And turret plating has now fallen, so these turrets are gonna become pretty squishy, especially in the mid lane. Meanwhile, I'm Human gonna recall and probably gonna pick up something to do with Lunens. He has 10 stacks on the Dark Seal.
Right.
So could he go for Mage Eyes? Oh no!
Wow, he tried. Unlucky.
That is something you don't want to happen to you, especially when you're being streamed.
It doesn't matter. He gave it a shot. He didn't actually have to do it. I mean, nothing lost at that
Fair
point.
enough. Well, Nunu managed to pick up a Mage Eyes, and now it's 10 stacks, and then we'll be keeping our
boy.
eyes close on this one. But so much damage really coming out from this Snowball, and this Snowball is coming into the mid lane. 4 members are grouping up. I don't think you want that. Whoa, whoa,
hello?
we're going all over the place, but here comes the Volibear. Beedoo, Beedoo, that's the police sirens coming down, and a huge, huge team fight. Volibear just jumping straight into everyone, and Volibear taking so much damage, actually going down, and it looks like Jax is able to find 2 kills so far. It looks like POF are actually able to turn this fight around for now, and they find 2 kills when things look pretty good for KEKW at the start.
And POF, they bite back, picking up 2 kills, but KEKW,
Oh,
they are
yeah,
not
it's all
done
a
yet.
Snowball straight into the Darius, goes down, Ignite now onto Tarsos. Tarsos taking so much damage, he answers 0. And triple kill right there. I'm Human, gonna walk up this Chad Nunu himself, gonna bite. He's gonna find the quadra kill rise, he's gonna steal that one away. But showing the power of this Nunu pick right here. I'm Human, just silencing all the haters.
And frankly, I've got nothing to say to that. I mean, POF, they look super good, but KEKW, they turn it around, bringing the Magi's Nunu back to the mid lane.
Yep.
They pick up 3 quick kills. No, 4 quick kills.
Yep.
And they just turn it right back around.
25 stacks right now on this Nunu. He's gonna knock up this here Blitzcrank, and is he gonna go down? Nah, he's fine. Just diving, using that Proto Belt. So much damage really with this Magi's now, and the question is, what's he gonna build next? Ludens? Rabadon?
The world is his oyster. He
Yeah.
can build literally whatever he wants right now. Bloodthirster. Maybe let's not go that far
Okay.
into the ridiculous hole. But then again, KEKW, you look at their team composition, they are winning with
Oh.
this very
Yep.
experimental composition. And now Jax looks like he's caught out once again.
Yeah, Jack's gonna get caught out once again. I'm Human not able to land the Snowball, but it looks like Tarsos is the one in trouble. Already used his Arcane Shift, has no flash. Get out. This one, Fam's gonna pick up 1 kill right now. But you look at this Darius, he is alone right now. He's basically the only saving grace for POF, and he goes down instantly.
Whew, I mean, yeah, at that point you should just play very, very safely. You should not be moving up this far and getting caught out. Unfortunately for Ezreal, was too far up in the lane to Arcane Shift out and does give over the life. Now that's the AD carry gone, which gives KEKW a bit of an opportunity to push into this bot lane tower, but they don't have many ranged champions, which makes it difficult for them.
Look at this turret dive here, and Volibear just makes the turret no longer exist. 2 more easy kills there for POF. Really not losing anything. I mean, for KEKW, of course, POF losing 2 members, just falling further and further behind. And what was the goal lead last time? 15,000 at 20 minutes, right? Right
Yeah.
now, it's 11,000 at 17 minutes.
We're getting there.
Are they going to find this 4,000 gold?
They might. There actually just might be another surrender at this point. But yeah, POF, it's looking increasingly difficult for them to go in. And I think in that previous fight, I sort of forgot my own analytical point. I said, you know, they don't have many ranged champions. They can't siege down a turret. But I forgot. They're not a siege composite. They don't want to siege a turret. They want to go for kills. They dive in. They pick up a bunch of kills. And guess what? When you get a bunch of kills, the champions are no longer there. The turret can just be taken. No problemo.
Yep, that's right. That's very true. Nunu nearly has the Rabadons, by the way. So, gonna be a lot of damage coming out from this boy. Whoa, he's very fast as well. Just coming straight in there, gonna land the snowball to Darius. Not the target
That
with
is
the
a
least resistances.
quarter of
Yeah.
Darius' health on a weak spell from
That's
the
right.
Nunu.
Yeah, that's right. He has only 1 point in that, by the way, guys. He backs his Q, followed by E. If you guys see this and you're like, wow, I'm Human, it's an amazing player, I want to play Nunu. So you max Q, you leave 1 point in your W, but it still hurts so much. And you just go so fast. That speed, I believe, is actually from the Magi's, because if I'm not wrong, when you have like 20 stacks in your Magi's, or
Oh
25
my word.
stacks, you get an additional 10% movement speed right now.
Jax,
and
you
I'm
don't want
Human.
this. Jax, go away. Jax, go away.
Oh,
They're
they're
going
jumping
for
on
it.
though. Look at this. Darius might just have enough damage to burst him down, but he's going to use the Proto Belt to get out just fine. Teleport's being used as well. The Dragon is up, and POF, they want to contest this one. But you see pings on towards the Baron side. They want to try to get vision on the side of KEKW. In fact, they're just gonna give up this dragon. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. It's resistances at this point. I think KEKW, they're happy with the amount of damage they have. One Mountain Drake is not gonna make much of a difference for the side of POF. And as they were taking that dragon, now Ola fails to stop the recalls.
Yep.
But KEKW, they're gonna try to push down this turret.
Yeah,
they might not have enough damage to do so though.
They might try to finish
they
it.
got-
Yeah,
wait,
no.
nope.
Yeah, they decided against it. Honestly, they could have committed. They probably would have been fine, but they decided to walk away. I mean, basically, when the turret is like 100 health, it's basically down anyway. But we hear the police sirens once again. Nice counter strike there from Jax to keep himself from getting stunned up. And Pantheon actually
Here we
channeling
go.
the ultimate. And here comes the Nunu. The bomb is on the way, and the bomb has been delivered. And there we go. Counter-terrorist did not disable the bomb. It goes in, just blowing everyone up. And Nunu just doing so much damage with that mid-eyes right now. 9, 3, and 10. And Darius actually landing a decent heal. But Lissandra just going in. The claw in, flash out. That's not the way you want to play Lissandra, my friend. Jax flashing in, trying to land a stun, trying to take down one player. Fam does manage to go down. That's going to be 2. And they're going to be able to find just a little bit back here for POF.
I'm Human going legendary at the end of that fight, and well deserved. 10, 3, and 12 on this Nunu. They are the de facto winners of this game. They're gonna be probably the representatives of TP in Campus Legends group stage. And if you're another Polytechnic right now, you're watching this,
Yeah.
and you're like, what the hell? How do we? What's going
You're
on?
like, alright, let's take a look at our competitors from TP. You tune in, you see I'm Human. 10, 3, and 12 on Nunu. 25 stacks Magi. Has 3 items. You see this Rise as well, of course, not to be discounted. 8, 0, and 11. Finally gonna be going down. Gonna get dunked 1,000 gold over, but still has both the items needed, and it's only 20 minutes. And you ask yourself, you know, what's going on?
This is a fever dream. I'm convinced I'm not awake.
Yeah,
I'm having a fever at home,
same.
and I'm dreaming of whatever the heck this is. Because
Actually, same.
this is this is an amazing showing coming through from KEKW. Not only did they play the map extremely well, they picked this interesting composition.
Yep.
And they absolutely just steamroll over POF. And don't get me wrong, POF, they had a strong showing, right? Especially in the mid game, especially in this game compared to the previous game. But KEKW, they're just so strong, they're so well practiced on this composition. They are not leaving a singular door open for POF to make a step back into this game. Not even a single step. They're not even affording that.
Yeah, and you know, I would say that this match is closer than the previous one because of the goal lead. But then again, you know, comparing 13,000 to 14,000 really isn't much. And yeah, it looks like we're going to be seeing this game probably played out to, you know, the full length of it right now. In terms of items, oh, Lissandra, that's just sad.
I mean, you have to play this out, right? Your POF, who knows? There could be some freak accident where you win the game. This is just tilt right
That
now.
is a
Nothing
freak
to
accident
see
right
here.
there. Wanted to use the Proto Belt to clear out the wave, but used the stopwatch instead. 650 gold thrown down the drain when you don't even have that much gold to begin with.
Yeah, and they're not gonna win the game short of a free accident. And honestly, that's what they're banking on right now.
Yep.
POF looking like they're pretty much tilted. They're done.
And Jax is going to get stunned up. He's actually going to be able to walk out of this one here. Or is he? Hard EC coming around. Oh, nope. You can't put a belt over the wall, my friend. That does not work that way.
Yeah, well, we are gonna start seeing a bit of a siege take place in the mid lane. Again, not a very good siege composition. That's the main reason why we've seen this game drag out so long. Sure, KEKW, they have a lot of kills. They found a lot of dives, but the fact of the matter is, all the champions that they've picked, especially with the fact that they don't have an AD carry, it's very difficult for them to siege down turrets as well as neutral objectives. So you can see that they're taking quite a little bit, given that, you know, this is still 2 members on the Baron. It's gonna take them a little while before they'll be able to secure it.
What is sieging?
What is sieging?
When
They're
you
just gonna
just
go for kills, they're gonna
dive.
take their own sweet time, and yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, really, I'm
just caught out?
human. Yeah, it's caught out. He does have the Executioners calling on the Dares right now. Teleport's gonna be coming in, and Fam coming in. Biru once again. The Volibear police car has arrived. Volibear is in the middle of everyone, and there is the Empire Ultimate. However, it does not land onto anyone just yet. People are falling left and right. However, so much damage being put out, but it's actually POF that are somehow winning this fight. And I'm Human. He might just bleed out on this one. 1,000 gold going over to Jax, and hook landing as well from Hayasaka. And actually, things looking not too bad for POF. They're going to be able to find another kill, but a lot of damage coming out from the Rise as well. But now Ragnarok has been popped, and here comes Hard EC here to avenge his team. Picks down 2 kills so far, throws the axe into nothing, but that's absolutely fine. Hayasaka, he's going to run for his dear life right now because there is an angry Viking.
Go
chasing him.
towards top lane. You have minions there. Where are you going, Olaf?
Olaf, he's just going for the dragon. He doesn't care.
All right.
He's just going in for that kill. Or the dragon, or both in fact. He's just gonna walk up, take that dragon. Hayasaka.
Oh no! Don't take the blast cone.
He's gonna
Oh, he's gonna
yeah,
back
he's
on the
gonna
blast cone. This is
recall on the
alright.
blast cone, yeah. He's gonna be just fine. Hardy's just gonna start taking this dragon right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm honestly of the belief that if Olaf had gone towards the top side, there was definitely a possibility of taking out at least both Nexus turrets. Because they had the minions there and they only had a Darius to defend. And Darius right now is not in the strongest position. But KEKW, they play it safe. They're just gonna go for the dragon. They're gonna now be on soul point, and they've now once again looked to siege down the mid lane. Again, not a very strong siege composition. They take quite a while to take down structures, but you know they're just gonna try it a little bit. That's the downfall of this composition, right? They're good at diving, but they're not good at taking the objectives.
Yeah, but I think critically as well. I'm just kidding. I'm Human lost his Magi stacks. He's a sad boy.
Aw, he's still at 17. A couple more kills, we're going back to full stacks on this Magi's. And he's running down the mid lane once. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah. Whoa. 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 Thumbs up, man.
Oh no! Thumbs up, man.
Thumbs
Jesus
up, man.
Christ. What do you even say to that, right? The Nunu. This is. You think you've seen Disco Nunu? This guy has shown us
Yeah.
the best iteration of Disco
Okay.
Nunu.
Okay.
Oh my word.
Okay. Okay. That's all I can say right now. Okay. Oh no, he got hooked. Oh no! Hardy, is he gonna go down? Oh wait, that's not Hardy. See, that's I'm Human, and now Pantheon gonna jump in. They're gonna try to go for this Ezreal. They're gonna be able to take him down by the teleport coming into the base as well, and that's Sandra showing up. Gonna use that Glacial Tomb. Gonna use that Frozen Tomb, I mean, and there we go. Another hook being landed on the Pantheon. Now it's Volibear that's left alone. The Counter Strike gonna come out. Volibear, he's just gonna try to hit everything and anything that he can, but he's in the middle of everyone, and he's just gonna go down. Meanwhile, Darius finding that solo kill in. I do not believe I'm saying this. It's not coming out from my own mouth right now, but an ace for POF?
Yeah, but the thing is, right? That was a troll. There's no way. There's no other way to put it. That was an absolute troll. KEKW, they were under the inhibitor turret when there's no possible reason for them to be there. Like, I'm just at a loss. Why don't you try to break us down? Why they were there?
Alright, well, why were they there?
Try, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
They were having fun.
Okay, yeah, sure, having fun.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
There we go. That's my color analysis.
Good
How did I do?
explanation. I mean, there's no way else to put that. There is just a bit of a troll coming from KEKW. There's still an immense amount of gold ahead, about 8k right now, and Nunu's going for it again.
Yep, there we go. This is not a replay, ladies and gentlemen. Why is Nunu so fast? We need to get scientists in on this one here. But oh, look at this. This crank just gonna get caught out. Just gonna give another Dark Harvest stack. Gonna restore some of those stacks that I'm Human lost. There. Oh, what is this? Is this like a spectator bug or something? There's no way he's that fast. Come on.
I don't see much Nunu. I don't see much Nunu. So I wish I could break that down for you. I'm sure we'll look at Google and find out what's happening, but right now I'm afraid I don't have a reasoning for you right now.
Yeah, well, look at this. There's a fight actually over the Baron right now.
There we go.
And then Ultimate coming on.
Oh,
There's
no.
the Nunu delivery, and where is the health bars of POF? Once again, absolutely gone. Triple kill going over to the Rise right there. Beautiful stuff. Hardy's just gonna clean up this Baron. Gonna take that one down as the rest of his team moves over to finally end the game 28 minutes later.
Take a look at Hardy. He's just standing on top of War. There's maximum BM right there. So missing pings come down, but the rest of his team is actually just gonna siege down the remainder of POF's base. Honestly, 20 seconds left on the clock. They can go for this end right now, especially with the Baron buff. It sort of alleviates their inability to push, and right now they're going for it.
Yeah, man. Oh, look at this. Is he gonna be able to hook him on the platform? He does so. Platform laser gonna burn him down, and Rise actually going down, getting shut down once again. But that being said, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. KEKW, they are gonna be your representatives for TP. And they're looking pretty strong.
Looking pretty strong is definitely an understatement. There is no world where two evenly matched teams go into that game, pick that composition, and come out this decisively on top. I would have expected it to be a little bit more, close. But the fact of the matter is that KEKW, they show that they are the better team on the day. They show that they possibly have had much experience playing this composition already. They know how to execute it well. At the end of the day, they do pick up that big W, and they will be our representatives for TP going to Campus Legends group stage.
Yep, that's right. And as you are from TP, how do you feel about your representatives right now?
That is a good question right now, because I've been thinking about it throughout basically the entire game, right?
Yep.
And I still don't have a solid opinion, because we see this draft come through that is not meta, which is definitely a good thing that they're able to win on it. But then the question does become whether or not the level of competition within these TP qualifiers can match up to the remaining teams that we've yet to see, or even RP or ITECC. So it will come down to, I think, how this team continues to practice, how they continue to improve, and what we see on the first day of group stage. Because right now I'm not ready to form a solid opinion, but just the fact that they were confident enough to go for this off-meta composition and execute it this flawlessly, I'm actually tentatively confident.
Tentatively confident. I too honestly look at this TP team and I'm like, looks pretty good. Looks like we're gonna be getting ready for a pretty exciting group stages when that does roll around later in August. For now, we have found the representatives from ITECC, from RP, and from TP as well. We're going to be having the SIM matches coming up later, but before that, of course, we're going to be having a little interview where our man here from TP himself, Spoods, he's going to be
talk
talking
to
the
them,
winners.
and I'm going to try to figure out why it is that they did what they did. But right now, we are going to go for a short break. Like you said, after the interview is going to be the SIM qualifiers, and at the end of the day, there is going to be a qualifier. There is going to be a competition, a trivia questionnaire, where you stand a chance, dear viewer, to win your own phone. I believe it was the Samsung S10 Plus, S10 Lite, something like that. But yeah, we are going to be going for a short break, and when we come back, an interview with our winners. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned.